Robotic surrogates combine the durability of machines with the grace and beauty of the human form to make your life safer and better.
A blonde Bruce Willis returns to the big screen this weekend in a sci-fi thriller called Surrogates. So, should you see it, rent it, or skip it? Our movie critic Kevin Carr from fatguysatthemovies.com is joining us this morning with his views on it. Kevin, even hard to recognize Bruce Willis in that movie there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they kind of make him look a little plastic, of course, because he's a robot.
He's a robot.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
But then, of course, when he becomes a regular guy, his hair migrates down to his beard, and he turns into a regular old dude.
Okay, regular old dude. So how is this movie? It's kind of man versus machine, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen these things before with movies like I, Robot and that sort of thing. It does remind me a little bit of that. And I love these kind of sort of off-season sci-fi action movies because you're not expecting the big blockbuster, but it's still pretty fun. It reminds me of movies like Demolition Man and, you know, more recently like Next. These kind of films that aren't huge, big movies, but they're still fun to watch, and it does make you think a little bit.
Yeah, so what would you say? What's your verdict here? Should we see it, rent it, or skip it when it comes to Surrogate?
I'm going to say see it. I was actually pretty impressed with it.
Okay, good to know. He's pretty good with action films anyway, so maybe I'll go see that one.
Yeah.
Another sci-fi thriller you mentioned, those are very popular now, Pandorum. Dennis Quaid is an astronaut on some sort of future mission.
Yeah, it takes place on a spaceship, and these people wake up from suspended animation. They can't remember who they are or what their mission is, and they start trying to kind of bring the ship back to life and find these creatures that are going after them in the ship. We've seen these sort of haunted house movies in space kind of films, and it's okay. It fits the bill for sort of like that horror movie action film. Probably going to do better life on DVD, you know, I've seen a lot of the stuff on this before, so it's an okay action film.
What, are they running out of plot lines in Hollywood? They've got to come up with this bizarre stuff, huh?
Yeah, well, you know, it's like The Descent on a spaceship.
And so what would you say for this movie? See it, rent it, skip it?
I'm going to say rent it, unless you're a real hardcore fan.
All right, rent it when it comes to Pandorum. All right, now Fame is back. It was a movie and then a TV show in the 80s, and Debbie Allen's in this one. We chatted with her yesterday.
Okay.
How's the new movie compare to the old, in your view?
Well, it's different. You first have to realize it's not a straight remake. It's sort of like the same sort of structure where it's these kids going through their 40 years at the New York School of Performing Arts. And it spreads the story thin across all these different students. So everybody gets a little slice of a story.
Okay.
And it's brought down. The original movie was rated R. This one's rated PG. So it's aiming, I think, more for that High School Musical crowd, because that was kind of the original High School Musical.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's if you're a kid who's into the performing arts and are really into that sort of thing, this is the one it's going to speak to.
Does it lose anything in translation? Because, you know, after all these years, some of the morals have changed in society, and I mean, do you think that it's something that we can all go see?
Yeah, you can see it with your kids. I mean, like I said, it's geared towards the PG crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as opposed to the other one, which more for high school, college.
Debbie Allen's pretty good in this too.
Yeah, she is. She's only a bit part in it. Kelsey Grammer's got a bit part, and all the adults have very small parts in it.
Back for cameos.
Yeah, they spread it around.
All right, Fame. What would you say? See it, rent it, skip it?
I'm going to say rent it, but of course, if you're into the performing arts as a kid, you may want to check it out.
No skipped it today, huh?
No, none to be skipped.
All pretty decent movies. Kevin Carr from fatguysatthemovies.com. Thanks.
All right.